There's a concept that a sociologist named Ray Oldenburg came up with called the third place. It's not home, it's not work, but it's a place you go that's in between. In a city like New York, I think we especially need to have a third place. A place to be social, a place to see friends and meet friends. I'm John Tebeau, an illustrator and author living and working in Brooklyn. I started making cartoons in 5th grade. I made my own comic books and started copying out of Mad Magazine. I loved books as a kid, and the illustrators were fantastic. Dr. Seuss and Maurice Sendak and Saturday morning cartoons. I wanted to create a body of work around 2014. So I decided I would start drawing buildings, specifically bars and taverns of Brooklyn. This is kind of the perfect drawing. It's got a garbage can, crosswalk, it's got a lamppost, a one-way sign. It's got the old school liquor sign. The lost dog here, the poor lost dog sign. That's very Brooklyn-y. Well, maybe they found him. I like to think, or her. I picked 6 of my favorites and drew them and then made silkscreen prints out of them. And then had a couple of shows. I showed them at Fort Defiance. When I had the show here, that went pretty well and sold some prints. And then I did another show up at Long Island Bar. And at that show, somebody said, you can write and you can draw. You should do a whole book about New York bars. This is my first sketch. Yeah, that's it. So that's the first sketch I did of Sonny's Bar in Red Hook that ended up becoming the book Bars, Taverns, and Dives New Yorkers Love. When I draw buildings now, I draw them as a cartoonist draws them. So a lot of the buildings that I draw are essentially caricatures. What else have we got here? Oh, this is a good one. Lucky Dog in Williamsburg, early sketch. Excellent little dive bar. Black Mountain Wine Bar that's in Carroll Gardens. The Poorhouse in Bay Ridge. You can catch a lot of personality of a building just like someone's face. Let's get some shots here. So more importantly than even the sketching is getting some of the pictures. I'll stitch them together in Photoshop, make one big picture of the corner here with all the details and get everything. It's good to have this for context. Thank you, Steve Jobs. The best I can do when I illustrate a place is capture that moment in time. It's a snapshot of a place and time, and things will then change. Oh, this was an early sketch for Hank's Saloon, a place on Atlantic that closed. And then this is the Red Lantern Bicycles in Fort Greene, which has since closed. Sadly, it was a really cool coffee shop and beer bar and bike shop. Brooklyn is such a walkable city and such a neighborhood-centric city. People find these places that are extensions of their living room, and the people there become part of their family. And this place becomes part of what they love about living in Brooklyn and what they love about their neighborhood. Every time I go by, there's a little pang. This is just a half block from our house. Every morning and every night, my wife Colleen and I go for a walk. Don't want to look up at the chip shop because it's gone and all the paper's there in the window. And our first thought is, well, nothing lasts forever. And we did have this place and it played an important part in our lives. And then the other thought quickly following is just crap. It's gone. Every one of the bars that I drew are loved. Not just an old place, not just a place that looks interesting, although many of them are. New York's always changing, and Brooklyn's changing really fast right now. And when a place closes, people mourn it, but new places come along. This was one of the oldest restaurants in Brooklyn, Gage and Tallner, and my old boss is reopening it and bringing it back online, hopefully by the end of this year. This place, the Red Hook Tavern, is a beautiful corner bar, soon to open on Sullivan and Van Brunt. An old place that closed was a brand new place that opened one time. So we've got to enjoy these places while we have them.